I don't know if any of you know that the narwhal bakens at midnight, but this is an image off Reddit.
God.
And rage quit. And I'm going to start with unsuccessful students. I think that's the biggest pitfall of unsuccessful students. I mean, I was in 2 AP classes this year, kicked my butt a little bit, but the friends I saw that dropped the class were the ones who quit. The ones who just didn't work to get their work done, who didn't create a plan of attack to get through those 30-page readings that we would get each week. The ones who didn't budget their time to get their novels read in time. That was their main pitfall. The main difference between successful and unsuccessful students is work ethic. The ones who work hard have success. I know some very brilliant people, some inherently brilliant people who could be the smartest people in the world, but they're just super, super lazy. I mean, they don't want to do anything. They just say, oh, this is ridiculous. We shouldn't be given this amount of work. When those who I know that are actually struggling through the pieces are the ones being successful. And a funny thing when you decide to change your work ethic, it bleeds into all parts of your life. And, oh shoot, I got these out of order. It's okay. This is my orchestra. And these guys are some of my favorite people in the entire world. And I have my directors here, Mr. and Ms. Cato. Those are some of my favorite people in the world too. They're another reason why I understand Arete so much. Mr. and Mrs. Cato always say, successful orchestras do what unsuccessful orchestras don't like to do. And it just goes back to show you that it really is work ethic that defines your level of success. Our orchestra was accepted as one of the 2 high school orchestras in an international music convention. We dug our nose to the grindstone, and with the leadership of Mr. and Mrs. Cato, we are going to Chicago in December to represent Atascocita High School on an international platform. And I don't know, if that's not Arete, I don't know what is. Okay, so I got the slides a little bit out of order. When I decided to really take school by the horns and make it mine, when I decided to make it mine was when it became so easy. These are actually some of my notes. If you can't, it's not the best picture, but I color code my notes, I have pictures, I make my notes mine. I mean, Bingham and Diaz were always talking about, oh, make your notes yours. This is the time to experiment. I thought they were kidding. But I really realized they weren't. The more I made my notes mine, the more I made them something only I could understand in whatever codes I wrote in, all the colors I wrote in, all the doodles and all the diagrams. That's when I really started retaining this information. It's a funny story about retention. I'm ranked number 9 in the junior class right now, and so there are 8 people ahead of me. And I recently got into this conversation with two people ahead of me. And I don't know, we get into this my horse is bigger than your horse run, and I couldn't help it. They were just kind of banging up on me like, haha, you're only number 9. First of all, there's 700 kids in our class. That's a monumental achievement in itself. But I simply said, so, what'd you get on the Civil War test? Oh, I got a 98. Oh, really? What happened? And then I asked some question like, oh, it wasn't the Civil War, it's the Cold War, excuse me. It's like, oh, so what happened at the U2 incident? I don't know. Really? You're ahead of me and you can't tell me what happened? I think there's a problem there. That's educational bulimia, which I think Bingham might talk about later. Yes? Okay. And I'd like to end my Apollo with the difference between algorithmic and heuristic tasks. Algorithm is probably a word you've heard in reference to math. An algorithm is a set pattern. It's mathematical in nature. And for once, there was a time where algorithmic tasks were what were rewarded. When assembly lines, think assembly lines in the Model T. I mean, you had workers that literally their job was to screw in 3 screws in a door. And they would do it all day and get paid for it. But we are moving into a society that's going to get rewarded for people who can complete heuristic tasks. The one that require problem solving, creativity. Not the current society we are moving into is moving away from algorithmic tasks. You don't see jobs that require you to do the same thing over and over and over again anymore. Those jobs are either becoming obsolete or they're being exported out the country. I mean, I had to do a job for the country club down in Walden, and it was basically a data exercise. I had to consolidate some data, who had shipped what to where, and how much we had of what, and would that meet the quota for the party, and how much revenue would we generate. And I think my dad showed me on Excel just how to consolidate the data so that you could have it automated in Excel. Excel has the power to do something that computer programmers were once paid to do 50 years ago. In an everyday program like Excel, you can eliminate the need for a computer program. We are not in need of algorithmic thinkers. We need the heuristic thinkers that are going to be able to create and solve these problems that don't have a tangible answer that you can just grab onto at first glance. And that's why I think achieving Arete is so necessary right now. The time is now for you to take your education into your own hands. I mean, I don't know what's going on with everybody, but I know that you can always do something to make it yours. And until you've done that, you really don't know the capability that you have with your learning. And one more word from the Greeks. Adversity has the effect of eliciting talents which otherwise would have lain dormant. Like I said, for the rage quitters who fell out of AP, that challenge has been laid for you. It's an adversity. Adversity will elicit talent. I mean, if I didn't fall on my face sophomore year, if I didn't fall on my face, I don't think I'd be where I am now. And I just want to challenge you next time you're faced with a task that seems impossible, that seems like there is no time to complete the task. I challenge you to take it head on, because you'll be surprised at the talent you find.